here? What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Live the Rebel. This is post-compu live, specifically because, well, I had a work call in the middle of this game. Yeah. Now, I flew home. I'm back now in EST. Okay, here's a picture of the setup that I'm going to be rocking with now that I'm home for the next 3 months, 2-3 months. But yo, I had a work call in the middle of this. I really did. Now you're probably thinking like, yo, like, how are you home and still getting work calls? Look, apparently people be spilling tea in the Boston 3 tea party out here as soon as like I fly home from the west, from MST back to EST. As soon as I land back in EST, all the tea just spilt, dropped on the ground. So I was in the middle of that phone call while playing Jack. Like, you can't make this stuff up, bro. You can't make this stuff up, bro. He brought pretty much everything that I expected from Jack's perspective. Like, I was afraid of Glim, like, stacking me and stuff like that, so that's why I brought Decidueye. Decidueye is actually really good against Sandy Shocks as well, because it's not like in PDL where Sandy Shocks can be like Terra Ice and just cook me. So his Terra Captain is only Meloetta I have to worry about. The Sandy lead. So I disguised this as Zoroark. And so this could also, like, this told me, like, oh, you could be Sash lead on this as well. So I can easily pop it with U-turn. And U-turn makes it so that way, oh, he doesn't know that I'm Zoroark still, because both Lando and Zoro learn U-turn, which is perfectly fine. So here I just go U-turn right into my Decidueye here in case you know, rocks do go up or whatever. But he decides to Mirror Coat me turn 1. That's obviously gonna fail because I clicked the physical move. So after that, I went ahead and I actually doubled out back into Lando. Again, it cannot Terra Ice and cook me, so I'm perfectly fine making that play here. The worst thing he could do is click Power Gem, but like, that's an 80 base power move, and it's not stab. I'm perfectly fine if he just magically Power Gems me, you know? I like that. That's just the way the story crumbles, like on my side, you know, because like again, like with Decidueye, you know, I resist both stabs, so there's really no point in him staying in here. So I'm going to double, and Landorus just covers for, you know, pretty much everything else. As he doubles into Torn here, so you know, obviously me clicking you know, Giga Drain or Air Slash would not have made any progress for me whatsoever. Here I U-turn again to get momentum, initiative, and things like that. But what you're about to see next is yeah, a bulk up Torn. A bulk up Torn, ladies and gentlemen. A bulk up Torn is on my screen. Now, I crit through the U-turn, lost some life orb HP, right? So, if I didn't crit that you know, that U-turn probably would have done like 12 damage points, to be honest. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm really not going to hold you on that one. I thought, like, here, like, I thought about, like, dang, he's at +1/+1, so I can't really go into, like, my turtle right now and just, you know, rock slide through it all. So then what I decided to do here was, like, I ended up going to my Zoro and just, you know, clicking a special attacking move and just firing it off, right? The thing that made me not click Shadow Ball was Meloetta. Meloetta hasn't Terra'd yet, and it can Terra into Psychic type, a Fairy type, or a Dark type. So I just went with a Hyper Voice instead. But then it's revealed that Citrus Berry is popped on Torn, and Torn uses Acro, and at +1 acro with stab, it's going to cook the Zoroark, right? So I chipped this down, and so here I was like, okay, if I go to Gambit now, he could click like. From this point on, I was always scared of like superpower, and for this kind of set. So I actually went Volcanion. Even though chipping this down would mean that, like, you know, my Azumarill endgame is not going to be that great. So I went for the flamethrower here. If he goes Azumarill, fine. I can just Sludge Bomb at the next turn, right? U-turns out at +1, which will do nothing. It does the same. I do pretty much the same amount back via Rocky Helmet. So he's gonna U-turn out to regen off some health and things like that. Blue Ball is the Azumarill. What? Flamethrower does, you know, 23 damage points. So then I just went ahead and Sludge Bombed right after, but the Azumarill eats a Kevia Berry. Yeah, it eats a Kevia Berry to bulldoze me, which isn't gonna do that much because you know, it's only a 60 base power move, but I'm at -1 speed, which means this can outpace me. So I went into my Fizz Def Decidueye here. The reason for that is like, you have to be clinically insane to Ice Punch, Ice Spinner in front of a Volcanion. Dual Stab makes, any of the stab moves make no sense right now in front of Volcanion because I resist Play Rough because I'm a fire type, and then obviously I have Water Absorb, right? But he's gonna go double into the Sandy here, so that's a great double for me. That's a fantastic double for me. It worked out. You know what I'm saying? So I can just go ahead and you know, and Giga Drain right here, right? Now I thought about Energy Ball over Giga Drain, but I ultimately went with Giga Drain because with the Roost nerf to 8 PP, I needed some, you know, some way to recover health back in case like I was in a PP war. But Energy Ball might have killed there, I'm gonna be honest, because he gets up rocks before I hit the Giga Drain. So now I'm totally okay with defogging right here. This is the one thing this mon needs to do, and is get rid of these bands. You know what I mean? So he's probably gonna go back into, yeah, he goes back into Torrent, as he should, right? Because then he can just fire off an Acro the next time, right? Totally fine. Now in this part of the program is where I didn't want to go back into Volt again because then my Azumarill endgame wasn't that great. And I was just like, you know what? I don't think he can click the superpower in front of a ghost type anyway. I don't think he's nice like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go into my Gambino right now. And like, I know taking chip on Gambino was bad because of my Holt endgame, but you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, you know. He does see that we're Supreme Overlord instead of Defiant. The Acro goes off, doesn't do much. Here I scouted for the fighting move here by going back to Volt. I think I'll take like 2 Brick Breaks. I mean, not Brick Breaks. Oh, well, I spoiled it for you guys. Congratulations. Yep. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is why, you know what? I need to listen to KJ more. Bro, write scripts. Like, bro, but scripts feel forced and not genuine. Like, it's not as fun. But then scripts will also help me not spoil the goddamn game. So, let's just pretend I didn't say the move. Let's just still say that I'm like, you know, hey, I'm still scouting for superpower, blah 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 blah. So I go back into Volcanion. In the end, like, I'd rather lose to Azumarill than Pull, because Azumarill, is slow. Holt is super fast. I'd rather lose to a slow one. As he goes for a bulk up on the switch, which is interesting here. I know I live acro from here at +1. I was like confident, like, you know, similar to what happened last week versus Primal, that I lived EQ from Tara Brown. So I was like, if I could live Tara Brown EQ from Charizard, you know, Torn, you know, this Torn acro is going to bounce. So I'm perfectly okay with clicking Steam Eruption here. If he goes a Woomeril, then like a Woomeril might potentially be burnt and whatnot. So that was my logic going into this. As he goes for the U-turn again, which does absolutely nothing, pretty much does the same amount via Rocky Helmet back, but he is going to regen up back to like 88% or something. As a Woomeril comes in here, I Steam Eruption, and I not only Steam Eruption on the Woomeril, and I burnt it. The water is hot. We got hot water in the shower today, boys. So nice to see. Things you love to see, bro. Things you love to see. So then I just go ahead and Sludge Bomb and kill this right after, right? Sludge Bomb is super free on this team. I see no Steel type to be immune to it. So down goes the Woomeril, which is really great for me. Especially since, you know, Jack got first blood on the Zoro, which I did not appreciate at all, to be honest with you. It's gonna be very interesting to see what comes in next here. You know, as I alluded to earlier in week 1, Volk out here taking up the whole screen. Here comes the Dragon Ball, and pretty much every single time I go into Gambino. Gambino is Lumberry in case he's like the sub Wisp set. So there's that. Again, my Supreme Overlord is still at 1. Darts is going to bounce because I'm a Steel type. Perfectly fine by that. Here I'm just gonna raw Katal here, because even if he wisps me, he's gonna pop my Lumberry, and I just Katal him. I was thinking this would Oko from full. He must have had some EV spread to actually like live through it, because good God Almighty, he lives on a sliver, and my cursed body was disabled, right? And not only that, he was weakness policy. Full. So here's the thing, right? So this is the freest wisp of his life, and naturally speaking, right, like you would think like, oh, I should go to Volcanion, but then, you know, at +2, if he, you know, because Darts doesn't make contact, I'm not gonna get Rocky Helmet damage from Dragon Darts. So I went into freaking Decidueye because I was convinced that this does not have, you know, Ghost Stab to hit me. So as he Will-O-Wisps again to try to burn King Gambit, but I went into my Owl. Since it's a special attacking Owl, I do not care. You know what I'm saying? So here, I just Air Slash here. I just simply Air Slash. Colt is obviously in Air Slash range anyway, but he switches out, which means he loses his weakness policy. And here comes the Torn, and the Torn takes like 20 damage points from that, which is unfortunate. But here I think I went into, I think this is the part where I went into Lando thinking I could live 2 acros, but I didn't. That's a miscalc on my end. You know what I mean? Like, do I do real calcs and eat up my time? No. The only time I ever really open the damage calc is to just see if, like, you know, to make sure that, like, you know, to learn my speed tiers and things like that. But Torn Acroed the first time, and I'm thinking, oh, like, you know, Sludge Bomb is more free than Psychic, so I'm gonna click that. But I don't live the second Acro, which is unfortunate for me. But what that means for me, since he just Acroed twice, he didn't bulk up either time. So I am perfectly fine with going into Dreadnought here. And I, you know, maybe I should have Terra Watered here, but like at the same time, like, you know, it's a superpower from Torn, like it should not kill based on my spread. But it ends up revealing to be Brick Break instead, which means free Shell Smash for your boy. Free Shell Smash for your boy. Absolutely free. This is why killing a Woomaril was super important, because I'm Terra Water and I can just, you know, start blasting. But first, I kept my rock typing and just freaking rock slided here. Rock slide from at +2 from this range should always kill Torn, and it does. You know what I mean? Even if I missed, Brick Break was like a roll to kill. Brick Break was a roll to kill based on the first Brick Break. You know? That's why I always joke around like Brick Break. More like shit break. You know what I mean? No, like, that's the saying that I be saying to people when it comes to Brick Break. Okay? Like, I don't know if Jack thought I was gonna bring like screens on something, but like, you know, Brick Break is not. Brick Break is just, gosh, more like shit break. Am I right? Jack took a while here to think about, like, so at this point, right, my work call is over, right? I think around, yeah, like at this point, my work call just ended, so I'm actually paying attention to what is going on in the game and things like that. And I'm just sitting here like, oh, okay, like, he probably is trying to find a switch in for this thing, and it's Meloetta here. Now, I have Jaw Lock, but because I predicted him to potentially Terra into Dark, I decided to just, you know, Terra Water Liquidate, especially since a Woomaril is gone. You know, I could just, you know, just start blasting, right? I could just start blasting away. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I didn't need grass for anything in particular. I didn't need flying in particular for Slither. I mean, it would have helped, but I went with the water just for the pure fact that, like, again, his water assist was real, and I got it out of the way very early on. But me and Meloetta, you know, going back to the days when I would be squaring off against DJS and whatnot, Meloetta has a history of getting low rolls against me. And so, Terra Water liquidation at +2, in my mind I'm thinking, oh, this is dying. This is dying, right? It doesn't. It looks like the same roll from Katal on ult. That's what it looks like, as Meloetta lands a Focus Blast. So good thing I Terra'd that. And then Meloetta reveals to be leftovers. Again, the reason why I didn't Jaw Lock, would Jaw Lock kill? Yes. But again, I predicted him to Terra, Dark or Fairy to predict Jaw Lock, but it's fine. It's fine, I can just liquidate again. And I cook this, right? So, that's 2 bodies for the turtle. So now we're getting to the part where I claim bodies 3 and 4. I know Dragapult is the last one. Yeah, see? Okay, this is the part where it gets interesting, right? So, when this came out, I'm like, oh, here comes the first impression, right? But, like, if he first impression and kills me, what do I do after that? I probably just go into, like, Decidueye or even Fall right after, right? Because I can still win with Gambit via Sucker Punch shenanigans, right? So, plus, like, Pult is at super low and stuff. So I'm okay with letting this go. I'm just going to liquidate, and if he has first impression, he has first impression. But because I liquidated first, That means he doesn't have first impression. So, I'm going to run away with this game. The turtle is going to run away with this game. Which I did not expect, to be honest with you. I did not expect it to be like this because, again, like, half of the battle before Dreadnought, like, literally everything that happened before Dreadnought was on the field, I was having a work call. So I was just clicking buttons away like crazy. And then as soon as, you know, the work call's over, Dreadnought comes in here and just starts doing Dreadnought things. I couldn't believe it. And to make sure I got the kill, I went and revealed Jaw Lock. Did I need to? No, but that's the whole set, Jack. Shell Smash, Liquidation, Jaw Lock, Rock Slide. So GG's to Jack. That's my first win of PDD. Very exciting stuff, man. Very, very, very exciting stuff, man. Things you love to see, bro, for real. Week 4, so week 4 we're gonna, like, so after today we're back, we're all caught up on the uploads and everything. So next week we're gonna be taking on Padel. So with that, it's me, boy, the Rebel. I'll catch you guys next week, man. Peace.